It's not for kids. It might be, who's to say? I feel like you should say. Well, I'm not gonna, sir. I'm gonna be all over the place with this thing.
I probably should have found that out before watching this movie when I was a kid. Hey guys, my name's Dan, and today's reaction comes from Screen Rant. This is Howard the Duck pitch meeting, and another week with there being no new pitch meeting is another week I go further back into the pitch meeting catalog that I have not reacted to yet. This one is a classic for me. I saw this when I was very little. Thinking about it now, probably way too young to be watching this movie considering all that happens in it, and I'm really excited to see what Ryan has to say about it and all of the very interesting things that happens in this movie. But before we get into it though, for those of you who are new, I put out reactions every single day, react a bit of everything, including many more pitch meetings, so if you like what you see your day, you're bound to find more things that you enjoy, so please go right below this video, let me know what did you think about this movie, click that like button, the subscribe button, and ring notification bell, all those things really helps out my channel. It's super easy, barely an inconvenience, and then head on over to Screen Rant and Ryan George's channels if you haven't already. I'll leave a link to them down in the description, and without any further ado, let's go.
So, you have a movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. It's based on a comic book series called Howard the Duck. Oh, and what's his deal? You're gonna like this. He's a duck, and his name is Howard. That explains the title, making a lot of sense so far. It sure is, sir. So Howard lives on this planet called Duck World, where instead of primates evolving into the primary species, ducks did. Wow, so things must be pretty crazy over there, huh? Nope, everything's exactly the same as here, except with ducks. Oh, it is? Yeah, like we're gonna see that they have breeders of the lost stork and splash dance and Birdweiser. Okay. Play Duck. Play Duck? Yeah, Howard's gonna flip through an adult magazine called Play Duck. We're gonna see some fully exposed duck boobs. What? Yeah, well, ducks evolved to have human-like boobs, so, you know, we're gonna want to show those in full detail. Like censored or? Nope, not censored in any way. We just straight up gotta show them. So this movie with a talking duck, it's not for kids. It might be, who's to say? I feel like you should say. Well, I'm not gonna, sir. I'm gonna be all over the place with this thing.
I probably should have found that out before watching this movie when I was a kid.
Enough. So anyway, then Howard suddenly gets pulled out of his duck apartment with a frickin' space laser. Oh, he does? Yeah, he just goes flying through the walls. Obviously, we see some more exposed duck boobs on the way. But why, though? And Howard ends up on Earth in Cleveland. Oh, he's on Earth now? He is, and he's gonna have to deal with a bunch of people, and he's just a defenseless little duck, you know, so he basically gets beat up. Wow. And then a couple of minutes later, he uses some martial arts thing called duck fu to save this girl Beverly, who's being attacked. I thought you said he was just a defenseless duck. Yeah, but that was a completely different scene. I mean, anything goes now. Feels like maybe there should be a bit of consistency. Yeah, well, there's not gonna be, though. Well, okay then. So what's duck fu anyway? It's kung fu, sir, but I changed kung to duck, so it's funny now. So this is a comedy? It sure is, sir. We're gonna have a ton of jokes in this thing. We're talking duck puns. Yeah.
Lots of duck puns.
Any other kinds of jokes? Or? No, absolutely not. Just hundreds of duck puns. A tsunami of duck puns. A duck-nado, if you will. You just replaced part of the word tornado with duck on that one. Yeah. That's pretty much the level of effort I put into all of these. So what else happens in the movie? Well, that Beverly girl, she brings him back to her place to sleep. So she's not freaked out by the fact that he's an alien duck? Apparently not. So as soon as he falls asleep, obviously, she goes through his wallet. Why did she do that? Well, because we gotta cram in a couple more duck jokes, you know? There's a blooming duck card. There's a tiny condom. Oh my God. And so the next day she brings him to see her friend Phil, who's a scientist, so they can figure out how to send Howard home. Okay. But then it turns out that Phil is just a lab assistant, so Howard gets all mad at Beverly, and then he's like, well, I guess I'd better find a job now. Well, he's been on Earth like 10 hours, and he's just giving up on getting home. Yeah, he's all done with that now, so he goes to the unemployment office, and they hook him up with some work. He doesn't need any proof of citizenship or of, you know, not being a duck. Apparently not, sir. So they hook him up with a job at a, an adult erotic spa. What? Yeah, so he goes to work there, but it's super gross because everyone's just doing it all over the place, so he quits immediately. He quits immediately? So what was the point of the whole scene? I don't know. Fair enough. So then Howard spends some more time with Beverly because he's not mad at her anymore for some reason.
Oh boy, here we go.
Things get pretty heated.
Oh boy.
Heated? What are you talking about? I mean, they're in bed together. She's in her underwear. She's touching him all over. It gets pretty intimate. Oh, who is this movie for? But then they get interrupted by Phil and some actual scientists, so, you know, they don't get to go all the way. Oh, well, thank goodness for that. I still feel like I might have some bad dreams about it, though. Yeah, I'm gonna have dreams about it, too. Can't help but notice you left out the word bad. Anyways,
gosh.
The scientist, Dr. Jennings, he's like, well, I think this laser we used at the lab is probably what sent you here, so we'll just go put it in reverse. Oh, the movie's almost over? Oh, no.
Oh, God, no.
So somehow the laser backfires and goes all crazy, and then the cops show up, and Dr. Jennings, he gets all messed up by the laser. Messed up how? Well, he says he feels like there's a creature inside of him, and he looks like he's boiling or something. Uh-oh. Yeah, it definitely makes it hard for him to drive as he's escaping with Howard and Beverly. Well, why doesn't Beverly drive? How would I know? I thought you might. Well, I don't. So anyway, they finally notice that maybe Jennings is turning into a monster or something, so Beverly's like, well, I think he probably just needs a cup of coffee, so they go to a diner. That makes sense. And so Jennings starts saying things in a growly voice like, I am the Dark Overlord, and I've taken over this guy's body. And Howard and Beverly, they're like, this scientist guy is kind of weird. The alien duck doesn't think that maybe another alien is taking over this guy's body.
No, not at all.
Apparently not. And then for some reason, a fight breaks out, and a bunch of people jump into pies that Howard is holding. Why do they do that? Well, I'm pretty sure the arms on the duck costume aren't going to allow for a throwing motion, so people are just going to kind of run into pies. Oh, running into pies is tight. Yeah, and then the Dark Overlord gets super powerful, and he kidnaps Beverly. Oh, how come? Well, he says he needs a human body as a host to bring some of his buddies down. So why Beverly specifically? Can't he just grab any human? Yeah, but she's one of the main characters. So. Right, that makes sense. And then Howard and Phil, they're going to have to outrun the police in an ultralight aircraft thing. Okay. For like 25 minutes. Seems a little excessive. Yeah, well, I don't have any other ideas for exciting sequences, so they're just going to do this for like 25 minutes. Like almost hit something and then miss it, and they can't use the aircraft to, you know, fly away. No, they can only fly it a couple of feet above a main road so the chase can happen. Fair enough. For 25 minutes. Right, you said that. And so finally they get to the lab, and the Dark Overlord, he's completely messed up Jennings' body. He's all deformed, he has spikes coming out of his back. Oh no. And then he takes his final form as a big alien thing. Well, so Jennings dies. No, he's fine. But you said he was like boiling and he had spikes coming out of his back. That didn't do anything? Yeah, no, that didn't do anything. Well, okay Apparently then. Not. So is it going to be tough for Howard to beat this big alien monster? Actually, it's going to be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, it turns out the lab they're in has this big disintegration gun, so, you know, they just use that, and that takes care of it.
Yeah,
wow. And then at the end of the movie, Howard is now the manager of Beverly's band, and they sing a song called Howard the Duck. Oh, bands love singing songs about their managers. They sure do, sir. So what do you think? Well, I mean, it sounds pretty nuts, to be honest. He said it's based on a comic book. That's right, sir, from a company called Marvel. Do you think we should explore some of their other characters, or? No,
not yet.
I'm telling you, this Duck character, he's the only Marvel property that's going to be worth anything on the big screen.
Yup, they waited a bit too long for that, and I also think Howard the Duck was actually in one of the Guardians movies, or was it in one of the Avengers movies? He was definitely there. I just can't remember which one. Either way, this movie was just absolutely insane, especially from the eyes of a child, seeing that scene where they're in bed together. I didn't know what the hell I was watching. I was just saw it happen, and I just saw they were talking. I was like, okay, well, what's happening? I don't know what this is, but it's kind of weird. And then, you know, it progressively gets even weirder the more this guy changes, and then he turns into this big freaking monster that I feel like gave me nightmares. I can't remember for sure. Either way, I remember thoroughly enjoying this movie, and then upon rewatching it, I was like, wait a minute, how did I watch this movie when I was a child? But even though that was the case, I still thought it was pretty great. So that's going to do it for me here. But before I go, though, I want to give a huge shout out to all my $5 and up supporters on Patreon. Marvin Espinoza, Cruising, Wolverine 310, Lauren Davenport, Kester Cronage, Amber K, Raymond Bright, Daquan Johnson, Colton McBride, Joshua Tees, and my lone channel member, King Boo 336, PD909. Thank you guys so very much for your continued support. Really do appreciate you. And if you too like to have your name read in each and every one of my videos, plus many other fun goodies, maybe reacted to a past pitch meeting or two, please head on over to patreon.com/DDReactor. The link will be right there in the description, or you get right below this video, click that join button there, or head right over my channel page and click that join button there. And with that being said, comment down below, let me know what you think about Howard the Duck. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. I also want to see past reactions I've done to other pitch meetings. I got a nice playlist right over there full of them for you. Share this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, ring notification bell because I put new videos every single day, and I'll see you guys next time.